Once upon a time, two boys grew up playing hockey in the village of Terrace, British Columbia. One of them went on to play in the National Hockey League. The other became a comedian. Now, one flies planes and coaches youth hockey. The other is still a comedian and owns newsstands. This is their podcast, Enjoying Orange Slices with Jeff and Ian.
I'm a little nervous who this might be. There's not a lot of guys want to say hi to me.
Hi, buddy.
A lot of guys want to say goodbye to me, not hi. Like this is the hockey groupie here. Just look at his background. Like, what broadcaster has that as his background? Like a groupie, the groupie masks and the jerseys and stuff, you know?
You're in one of these pictures, so you'll be okay with it. You'll be just fine with it.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate that.
How's your experience on Orange Slices going?
I guess it's good. We're just about we're at the point now where I just graduated from grade 8.
Yeah.
So they've pretty well taken me back to my birthdays in Summerside.
We wanted to keep it. We wanted to keep him when he was just still playing.
Is this going to be a 9-parter?
This is gonna be. Oh my goodness.
We're Doug. When we sent Doug the questions, he asked if it was for one show or for one season. I think right now, we're on to the trilogy. I think we can chop this up into 3.
The good news is we haven't asked one question from the questions that we had to send in.
You know what the scary part is that I'm not quite sure what you're going to have for listenership on this, you know. But anyway, good luck. I don't care about listenership. I just care about getting it over with.
We're
this
number
is a
5 in
monumentary.
Australia.
Have you told them you're writing a new book yet?
Well, I mentioned that. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gone
into
way
Simon
quicker.
& Schuster. It's gone to Simon & Schuster. It went on the 15th. It's done.
Hey, Millard, the best part is he got it in way quicker than he got it in on 100% hockey, because he didn't think he'd still be here, so he wanted to get his plugs in.
He got to be quick.
Ian Bagger, what's your impression right now of Senior MacLean?
Good at picking first rounds.
Yeah.
He didn't
He's
like.
more
He
of a
didn't
second round
like. He didn't
guy.
like. He didn't like the Brule over Kopitar either, Darren.
He's minus 30 on the Brule.
Have you found anybody to support that one yet?
No. Well, Berkey said none of us had him in the top 10. I said, oh, okay, well, Pierre Maguire did. and Aaron Portzline did, the writer in Columbus, obviously.
Who's been left out of the chirps and the shot taking so far? Has there
It's been pretty good.
I haven't given a
you
shot hardly at all. Pierre Maguire. I gave Pierre Maguire one.
Did you see
everybody
Pierre
should.
Maguire was on with Kippy the other day?
Yeah, did you hear what I said to Kippy the other day on a show? I said, just a minute. You have is that true? You had Maguire on this show? And he said, yes. I said, the difference between me and Pierre Maguire is I was a GM and he was a runner-up 19 times.
Finalist.
A finalist. He was a finalist 19 times. So that was good.
Hey,
Kippy was pretty quiet about it. He didn't go on and on about it. He sort of jumped to the next topic pretty quick.
Smart.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug, tell us a little bit about back in the day when you were
Grade
on
9.
Sportsnet with Mallard and Kipper. How did that all work out? An ex-player,
Well, I'll
an
tell you
ex-GM, and Mallard.
I'll tell you how it worked out. I was on a show and it was a Friday afternoon, and Mallard, he was a great talker and a great organizer, and he asked me what I thought of Edmonton's blue line, and I said they're effing awful. They're effing awful. I thought I was off air. I thought I was off air when I said it, and all of a sudden it goes out that I said they were effing awful. So, Millard and Kippy are basket cases, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm heading to the airport to fly back to Florida, so I'm in the car service going to the airport, and Scott Moore phones me. He said, think we have a little problem, Doug. Your comment about the Oilers. And I said, yeah, Scott, it's not good. And he said, do you know Kevin Lowe well? And I said, well, I know him well enough to call him. And he said, okay, let me talk to the president of the Oilers first. What was his name, Darren? Do you remember? The president of the Oilers?
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, look, so Scott phoned him, and I was getting ready to phone Kevin, and Scott phones me back in the car, and he said, okay, I think we're okay, Doug. And I said, what do you mean, Scott? He said, well, I talked to the president, and he said that he agrees 100% with Doug's comments on their defense.
That's awesome.
So I survived that firing, but anyway.
You were never really close. You said a lot, but you never really close to anything bad.
That was the only time I had to really apologize. That and to Hazel May.
Yes. And usually I had to do the apologies. Like people would say stuff, and then Mallard would have to start the show with, "We would have liked to apologize," and blah blah blah.
See, Mallard, as usual, he's trying to take credit.
No, I'm not. You took care of that.
The fixer. You're the fixer.
Yeah.
You're the fixer there, Merlock.
Yeah.
Doug and I are neighbors in the summer.
Yeah.
So we get out for the odd round of golf.
Yeah.
Play in 2 hours and 58 minutes, and home.
Mallard is another guy that came to visit me and never left. There's a lot of guys come to visit me and seem to stay. But anyway.
And now you tell people you don't have enough space in that 9-room estate that you've got.
Well, Jeff Rimmer wants to come and visit. I said, Rims, I would love to have you come and visit us, but we only have 5 bedrooms.
Do you know Lord Bagg at all, Doug?
No,
We just met.
Yeah.
We just met. We became fast friends.
I thought he was Jeff and the other guy was, but I didn't catch on until about 3 minutes into the show.
We just got names underneath us. You can't figure us out.
So Jeff
played with a visor, so I didn't recognize his face.
Jeff's an aspiring broadcaster, Doug. What advice do you have for him?
Oh yeah.
The guy in Vegas told me he was working with you on the broadcast. So somebody told me that this week. Actually, Bob Strum told me that this week, that you were working there helping.
Are you talking to Strummer? How often do you keep in touch with him? Because he was in Columbus with you, right?
Yeah, Strummer was with me. Strummer was with me for 10 years in Columbus, 11 years in Columbus. Yeah, I hired him actually from Vegas. So I flew out to meet with Strummer with Jim Clark and a buddy of mine from PEI who always had points. So he flew with us. So I'm out there to interview Strummer, and I meet. We're sitting by the pool at Mandalay Bay. Jim Clark, who was assistant GM, and myself and my buddy Jim Rankin, who was the points guy who just wanted to come on a trip. So Jimmy Clark goes for a run. I'm just getting ready to interview Strummer, and JR's sitting there at the pool with me, and he said, Doug, he said, you're gonna hire a lot of guys. I was president and GM. He said, you're gonna hire a lot of guys in Columbus, and I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm just going through bankruptcy, and I haven't told you that, but I'm going through bankruptcy, and I really need a job. And he said, could you hire me? And he was a little fat guy with really thick glasses and, just a nerdy guy. Hey, Darren?
Oh, that's a good description. Great guy, but yeah, that fits the description.
Can you swear on this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I hope he's not fucking listening.
So anyway, JR said, is there any way you could give me a job? And I look at him and said, what the fuck are you going to do for me? And because he wasn't a hockey guy, he said, well, I can be your travel guy. So I said, oh, okay, you can be our travel guy then. So he was our travel guy for 12 years in Columbus and did an amazing job. So then Jimmy comes back from his jog, and Jimmy says, I said, hey, we just hired JR, and he says, what the fuck's he going to do for us? He's going to be our travel guy. So then I interviewed Strummer, and Strummer I don't know how well you know him. I guess you know him well, but he had a bit of a drinking issue, And I said, Strummer,
I just found out.
I said, here's the deal, Strummer. No, you gotta cut the booze, and I'll hire you. But if you go off, you're done. And he told me last week, 27 years he hasn't had a drink since the day I hired him in Vegas. 27 years he's never had a drink, and amazing story, really, how well he's done. So I'm really proud of that, you know, and he's proud of him. So, but I talk to him once a week. Honest to God, I do. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, he's great. You know, it's funny how you talk about Strummer, because we're doing the HSK Silver Knights are doing a Thunder Night. They do it. Didn't do one last year, doing one again this year. And Strummer's always he steals the show every time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, if you look at professional sports in Vegas and where it kind of started, when the Las Vegas Thunder came to town in '93, Strummer was the GM, and he was a coach for a while.
Yeah.
And if you look at what's happened to sports, and specifically hockey, because the Wranglers came after in ECHL, now we have the Golden Knights. Strummer was kind of the tip of the sphere on all of that, and I still keep in touch with him. I'll ask him about players to this day. I'll text him and go, "Hey, we're doing Calgary. What do you know about you know, throw a name out there, Klapka?" Or you know, he's brilliant. So
it's scary. He watches 7 games a night. He watches 7 games a night, and I touch base with him too about, you know, different, because, you know, teams in the West, I don't see him that much, you know, and he'll fill me in on YouTube. But he watches 7 games a night, or tapes games. It's crazy, but that's his life. He was a passionate guy. I mean, we had lots of battles, you know, but I mean, he was with me 11 years in Columbus. So, and I was with him in Detroit. Before that, he was with Brian Murray and I when I was assistant GM in Detroit. He was with us for a couple of years in Detroit, and then went to Vegas and did the work in Vegas. So, you know, we've been together. I met him through Brian Murray because Strummer hired Brian Murray from the Rockland Nationals to coach Regina Pats, and they went to the Memorial Cup. So that's the connection between Brian Murray, Bob Strum, and myself.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Rockland Nationals. Hey, I thought Strummer was in Billings too. Was he not in Billings as well?
Strummer was with Regina when he had Doug Wickenheiser and that group. And Strummer hired Brian to come from Rockland to a nobody. But Roger Crozier, the famous goaltender, had given Strummer Brian Murray's name. This is a guy you should talk to as your head coach. So Brian was hired by Strummer in Regina. And then Roger Crozier became the GM of the Washington Capitals for a short period of time. And he's the guy that hired Brian from Strummer to go to the Washington Capitals. So Brian, Strummer, and I have sort of been interconnected forever, you know. But so Strummer is a lifer. He really has been a lifer in hockey, you know. Mm-hmm. So he's got a great feel for the game and very opinionated. But I love BSing with him. I really do.
Yeah.
So,
do you enjoy BSing with him more now when you guys aren't working, as opposed to when you were in the thick of it?
No, both the same. You know, he was always had an opinion, and you know, he was strong in his beliefs, and he was a worker. I mean, this guy would. I mean, when he was a pro scout, he would go to games like you wouldn't believe when you'd look at his schedule. It was his life. It was his life. And you know what bothers me, and this really pisses me off. When I applied for the GM job in Columbus, Strummer helped me put together a package, you know, to present. Okay, it was an unbelievable package that I presented. And I wrote about it in Draft Day, and I also, you know, commented in the new book on it. But Strummer has done that for 2 guys that have gotten GM jobs in the NHL, where they had heard that he could put package together. And the last one was a guy that got hired a few years ago, and Strummer gave him the package, and the idea was, I'll talk to you about a job if I get the job. Strummer's phoned him at least a half a dozen times, never returned a call. That's a guy that's a GM today in the NHL, you know, and it really burns my ass when I hear stuff like that, you know. I mean, you know, so that's the way it is. But, you know, he's a lifer, and I have a lot of time for him, and we've become great friends.
Which is more
Strummer
important
could get
when
me
you're
a job? Go ahead.
What was that?
I want to know which is more important when you're a GM, a yes man or a guy that gives you an opinion.
You know what? You always want guys that give you opinion. You definitely don't want a yes man. And I don't know that I ever had any, that were yes man. I mean, Jim Clark, who well, Darren is definitely not a yes man, and Strummer wasn't, and Don Boyd wasn't, and even like Paul Castron, who still scouts for Jersey. I mean, they were a great. Sam McMaster was with us. None of them were yes man. They were just solid hockey guys. Now, when the scouts would be in town. I was chuckling the other day because Jim Clark was quoted as this in my book. He said when the scouts were in town and we won, they would be high-fiving each other because they knew I was taking them out on the credit card and would buy them anything they want. And if we lost, they were booking their flights out of town. So everybody lives and dies with wins,
And if Lord Bagg wants to be a general manager, what would he have to do to get there?
Definitely a suit.
Wear a suit.
Find one. Yep.
I don't know. There's no secret formula to become a GM. I guess people ask me all the time. I teach this sports management course with that group out of Portland. This is an amazing story. I get a call from this group in Portland. It's the Sports Management Worldwide group, and it's online courses, hockey and cricket and auto racing and baseball and every sport imaginable. And they teach. It's an online course, so I do it every Wednesday night at 8:00, and I go for an hour. So I get a call from them after draft day. The book went out, and they said, "Hey, we just had our guy that's been teaching here retire, and we're looking for a former GM to take this course on." And I said, "Well, who retired?" And they said, "Harry Sinden taught the course for 19 years, and he retired at 91 from teaching the course." And so I took Harry Sinden's place in doing the course. And that's, a Hall of Famer, and he did it for 19 years and retired at 91. How bizarre is that?
And he retired because he didn't have time.
and they said, no, what they told me is that it's a Zoom call, every Wednesday night, and you got the 15 students on, and each one they ask you a question. Harry did it on his phone. He wouldn't do the Zoom.
Hopefully we can get done by 8:00.
Yeah, the course does get into our schedule in the summer, like you teaching the course.
Yeah, it's not good. It's 9:00 in PI, which I hate, but other than that, it's okay,
Well, it just makes you less fun at dinner.
Yeah. Well, I can't drink as much.
Yeah,
but I do. I've got to the point now. I'm pretty good. I can do interviews and stuff when I've had at least a bottle of wine. I'm okay.
His teeth are a little bluer, but he does it just fine. Exactly.
Where's Jill?
Jill's out in the other room.
She doesn't sit and listen to you do this?
No. She's past that.
You guys should meet Jill.
She doesn't laugh at any of my stories anymore. She's heard them all. Very, very.
Just sits in the back room. Boring.
Oh yeah, she's a firecracker.
Yeah,
exactly. I love it. I have a very serious question. That cannon that you guys had in Columbus, do you know of anybody that shat their pants from that?
Tell them the story about the cannon, though, how it came to be.
So when I was there, I was in Columbus 11 years, and I kept getting letters from the booster club. It was a group called the Jacket Backers, and they used to send me letters, nasty ones about the team, and then I'd get the odd one. What about a cannon in the building? Because it would really be funny. Because they were trying to tie the Blue Jackets to the Blue Coats and the Civil War and all this BS, which is all BS. It's nothing, that it's become that. Everybody thinks it's that. So anyway, when I got to Columbus, it was down to two names for the name of the team: the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Columbus Mad Cows, and they called them the Blue Jackets. And it really was supposed to be because
Shooting mad cows.
yeah, the blue coats were, you know, made in Ohio for the Civil War, something. And Mr. McConnell wanted blue in the name because he hated Ohio State so much, and he wanted the color blue in the Blue Jackets name so it would piss Ohio State off. So that was the reason.
That's hilarious.
That was the reason. But anyway, so they're writing me about this cannon. Finally, had a pretty good idea I was going to be fired in the next week. And I thought, okay, I get this note. So I walked down to Mark Gregory, who was our VP of marketing. And I was president at the time too. So I said, Mark, I think it's time. What about the cannon? I think we should do the cannon. I think it'd be fun. So I knew I was leaving. So that's why I was pushing it. So then we go back and we go back the next year with Darren and the Sportsnet group for the NHL All-Star game. And the score was what, Darren? 14-12.
Yeah, it was 3-on-3.
Yeah. The cannon went off 26 times.
Oh my God.
It was God. But anyway, people, they love it. The people in Columbus love it. And it's kind of fun.
And it was a bit of a like mic drop, screw you, I'm paying the
Yeah,
cannon, because it's not a cheap cannon.
No, that's really quite nice. But anyway, it's good. They like it and the fans love it. So that's what it's all about. You know,
only in Ohio would they have enough gunpowder to be able to shoot it off 26 times.
26 times. Oh, we were up in a
crazy.
suite doing our show, and it was like, oh my God, is this painful? But
I don't even think they shot the cannon 26 times during the Civil War. You guys probably have a record.
When I was a GM, they wouldn't have shot it off that much either because we didn't score that many goals.
Minus 30.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have fun. Okay, I'm going to leave.
Well, we're not going to keep him much longer.
Yeah.
You might want to answer this question. You might want to answer this question as well because I want to talk to him about the state of hockey. Because I went and seen a game, Los Angeles Kraken the other night at the Cosm in Los Angeles. I don't know if you know about this place. It kind of looks like the Sphere.
Yeah,
and they show sporting events. They show sporting events at it. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely amazing.
The screen on it is spectacular.
So
it's
you
like
weren't
4
at the
stories.
game. You weren't at the game live, or you were?
I wasn't at the game live. I'm in this building and I watched it on this 4-story screen, and it is like I think they said 15 to 20K or something. So I could see the goalie's eyes at the other end of the ice.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Eh?
It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was.
I've witnessed the Sphere, and but that I've never watched a game like that. To be quite honest. So the game is. Where's the game today? I find that I'm kind of bored watching it, and I watch a lot still because I have to do podcasts, so I watch a lot. And I find it.
We felt that.
Yeah. I find it lacking physicality, which really bothers me. I think it's become speed, it's become skill, which I like, but I miss a little more physicality in the game. The 3-on-3 is driving me absolutely batty with the way, and I was in the league when we put that in. It drives me crazy, the circling and the spinning and the changes. And, they've even screwed up the 3-on-3 because I loved the 3-on-3 when it first came in because it was go for it. Now it's rope-a-dope and change. And I don't enjoy it at all. So anyway, other than that, it's, I'm still a hockey fan.
When you say physicality, do you mean fighting or do you mean just hit body contact?
I mean more body contact.
Battles.
Yeah, more battles. I do. And if the fighting, I don't mind, I don't mind the fighting. Actually, I kind of liked it when we were not a very good team because the fans used to get excited. I remember bringing Jody Shelley up from the minors to fight Christoph Oliwa. And Jody never played another game in the minors. He played 12 years. From that day, we called him up to fight Oliwa because he was such a character guy and learned to play as a fourth line, and he's still a broadcaster today, so he's done really well. But so the fighting I could care less about. I remember at the NHL meetings, and some of the greatest GMs that were in those meetings wanted. That's when we really did the whole changeover of rules, the stick on the hands and all those rule changes that came. What was it?
06.
2005, was it?
Yeah. 2005, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And, we were there. Guys like Bob Gainey were really, really, who I admire tremendously as a player. Played against him in junior when he was in Peterborough, and admire him as a NHLer and as a GM and executive. And he was adamant that he wanted fighting out of the game in those meetings, and it sort of caught me a little off guard. But that was when it basically was taken out. So I don't miss the fighting, but I like to see a scrap every once in a while.
Hey, Doug, tell me, talking about the game and the way it's changed, which team do you like watching the most, and which team frustrates you the most when you watch a game?
Oh, well, it changes every year, and I would have to say, right now I'm really enjoying watching Colorado play. And I don't get to see them as much, because I love Makar, the way he plays the game, and I love McKinnon, and I love what Landeskog has done. And Chris McFarland was we had hired him as a 29-year-old in Columbus as our hockey ops guy, and he grew up in our organization. He's with us 11 years and grew up with us as a GM there. So I marvel at Makar. You were a defenseman, so you understand the game that he plays. But, you guys had a question there about who would be the number one player you'd take today if you were building a team. It would be hard to go by Makar as the number one guy you'd take to start a franchise, And, so I really enjoy watching them. Toronto are frustrating. I mean, obviously Buffalo's been frustrating because Lindy Ruff was my assistant in Florida, and we're great friends, and I've really sort of died with him. Tough times it's been, but Toronto has been painful to watch this year. Painful to watch those superstars the way they're playing. It really has been, But
Did you see Matthews last night? So they were booing the Leafs in the second period. They scored 2 quick goals, including a Matthews goal, and he goes to the crowd like with his hand up to his ear.
Yeah,
jeez.
I thought,
he doesn't get it. I mean, he's just not there right now, and I don't know why. Because I mean, this kid was a stud his first number of years, 4 or 5 years. He was a stud, but he did it in both ends of the rink. He played hard.
Looks bored.
Marner's a monumental loss, and I don't want to say it all the time, but Marner transported the puck from the defensive zone through the neutral zone. He was always putting it on a platter for Matthews. He's a monumental loss to Matthews. He really is. And Matthews was the shooter, and he got the puck in prime situations. So, he's got it, but he's got to get it going. And Nylander, I look at the way they play, and I can't help but think to myself, do they really like Berube? I happen to like Craig. I don't know him that well, but I coached against him, and I like him. I watching them play it almost.
You know what I see?
They don't like the coach. That's what it looks like to me.
You know what I see with Berube? I see white collar guys being bossed around by a blue collar guy, and it's not working.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
And I hope for his sake they figure it out. But
yeah,
it's troubling right now because even against Chicago the other night, guys, they didn't deserve to win the game. Against Chicago without Bedard.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you just said right, Matthews to Vegas.
What was that? Matthews.
You just said that Matthews to Vegas. We can write that down.
Well, I wouldn't. Nothing would surprise me with Vegas. As somebody said to me, if you're drafted by Vegas, don't unpack your suitcase.
But the roster is world class.
But the roster, I'll tell you, the guy I marvel at, and I'm watching the other night, and Mark Stone. I don't know how many was it. He gets the win, and I'm thinking, seriously, is there a guy with more character? And I know he's had his injury problems, and but how do you not put him on Team Canada? And I don't know how much I'm hearing his name, but after I watched that, I'm thinking, how can they not have him on the team? He's clutch and character and a winner.
Hey,
Am I wrong?
No, he does
yeah.
everything defensively, offensively. If people knock his skating, he never loses a race to the puck.
I've heard about his skating since he was playing in Binghamton, that
Yeah.
he couldn't skate, and when he was with the Binghamton Senators before Ottawa brought him up. Couldn't skate. Well, I don't see him lose many races.
Where did
How
he
does
play?
it?
Where did he play junior, Doug?
Yeah, Brandon,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. That's where what's his name's from there, isn't he? The guy that's a TSN Drager, the National Hockey League. The National Hockey League.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Doug. Here, I wanted to dig in a little bit more. We'll let you go here before your 8 o'clock online class. But I
Before he
have
retires at 91, like
Yeah. Before he gets pushed out at 91.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get there. I actually I got two you talk about Stone, and I have Quinn Hughes in one of the questions we sent. So there's another player similar to a needle mover to Mark Stone, who got moved from this organization. Now the latest big name, and you could say generational, in Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
How did those guys? How does that end up happening in an organization? And what's the fallout after it all? I mean, we know the players that went there, but how does all this, like, how did these guys play their way on, not play their way, but end up on other teams?
Well, here's the biggest difference from, if you think back to when you were playing at 31. If a team made you a qualifying offer, you were locked into 32 years of age. That was the biggest thing. And in the CBA, when they changed it to the salary cap, and to get the salary cap, they had to give up 7 years pro. And it has been the number one most challenging thing for general managers, is navigating the fact that a player comes in and at 7 years, he's unrestricted. And we've seen it happen time and time again. So you're sitting there with Quinn in year 5, and he's not re-signing. He's not re-signing. So they're under the gun. They got to trade him. Like Marner was the same thing. They got caught, and they were lucky to come out of it, but they got Roy for Marner. Come on. Is that his name, Roy?
Wow.
Raw. That's what they got for Mitch Marner. And then you look at because Vancouver had to be proactive. He's a franchise player. You've got to get maximum value for him. And they did all right. They got essentially equivalent to 4 first-round picks for him. And Toronto get Waugh for Marner. And, we saw what happened with the Eichel deal with Buffalo to Vegas and what the return is. Really, when you look at that return on that deal after Tuck, there's one other kid that might have a chance now left over. So that's where it's dramatically changed, and that's why you see movement. So what you do as a GM, every time you go into a negotiation with these guys, you're trying to buy the free agent years, so you try to get them on as long a term as you can get. And we've seen it every day now. Even young guys are getting signed 8-year deals, coming in, playing one good year in the league, and you give them an 8-year deal, or 2 years in the league or something. So it's changed the whole dynamic of the GM job. I remember phoning Gary Bettman when it came across the wire that we got the cap, and I was a GM at the time and president, and I phoned Gary and I said, Gary, please tell me what I'm hearing isn't true. And he said, what's that? I said 7 years and players are unrestricted. And you know what he said to me? Yeah, 100% right. We will protect teams for 7 years, and after that, you're on your own. And that's what he said to me. And I had Nash at the time, who was a year or two away from unrestricted free agency. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to get to work and get this guy on a long-term deal, So it's changed the dynamic for GMs. And that's why you're seeing young guys, superstars move, And
Does Minnesota lose that trade if Quinn doesn't sign?
Well, if they win the cup, and
you think they're that close?
They're a contender. Okay. In my opinion, they're a contender. I don't know. Winning the cup is really tough, but they certainly have a chance. There's no denying that. And, you know, they got the goaltender there that's all of a sudden, he looks like he might be the next great goaltender. I mean, and that's the guy that Edmonton, there was a trade made and they flipped the pick, Edmonton and them, and they take this guy and Edmonton misses out. And the last time I looked, Edmonton could really use, well, no, they got Jari now. Yeah, they could still use a goalie. Anyway.
See what he did there?
Their fucking blue line sucks.
See what he did there?
He's still all over Edmonton.
It's good.
Kevin
Lord
Lowe,
Bagg, what
line
would you
one.
do if Doug was sitting front row at one of your shows? How would you approach him?
How would I approach him? I don't
Yeah.
know. He does. I would probably. I would say you're not good at first choices. What do you do with your second choice?
Are you a comedian? Are you a comedian?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Funny.
And
I
he's
haven't
really
found-
good.
I haven't found him very funny on this podcast.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Doug MacLean.
He's really funny, Doug.
So who did I go to Vegas to see? The famous comedian who I absolutely love, and Jill's a huge fan of his. What's his name? You know, he never swears. He's the nicest guy, nicest comedian. What?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I lost it.
Seinfeld.
No.
He did
Romano?
the NHL awards when we were in Nashville.
Oh,
No,
Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze. We went and listened to his show. It was actually amazing. He was really funny. So anyway, are you like a
Sells
Nate
a couple
Bargatze? Are you like
No,
a
I'm
Nate
filthy.
Bargatze? Oh, you're filthy.
filthy.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd love it. You'd fucking love my blue line.
Who was the guy that I used to hang out with? And he was a buddy of Gretzky's, and he was a radio disc jockey in Edmonton, and he was
Jim Jerome.
Jim Jerome. That's
Yes.
exactly who it was. So you're a Jim Jerome type of guy then.
No, I'm not filthy. I'm fun. Yeah.
where-
I'll be at.
where- Where's your show? Where's your show?
I tour the world. I
Oh,
tour
okay.
the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah, I'll be
Ian
honest.
does crowd work, you know, like he just plays off the crowd all the time, which is
Yeah.
brilliant because
Love
it's
it.
not the
I
same
love it.
show every time.
Jonathan Winter is that kind of stuff. A little bit of this.
So when I saw the name, I couldn't figure out. I knew that you had played Bantam B somewhere. Bantam B hockey
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
your max level, but I didn't
Yeah.
know it had gone into the comedian stuff. I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
my research, but not that good.
You probably would have chose me first.
Yeah.
I would have gone in the first round. I know your history.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Right from the Terrace Legion Bantam B team to the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're going to go off the board and grab Ian Bagg.
Yeah, the boy Pierre
love
McGuire
it.
would have not known, but
You should come and play the Albany Legion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, play the golf outing where every year I see the comedians up there, and it's the worst crowd because at the Boys and Girls Club, 3/4 of people are hammered, and the comedian goes up and tries to do the show, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a disaster because the back tables are all hammered and yelling, and I feel for them.
I'm coming out to the East Coast in January. I did not get PEI, but I'm doing Halifax, Moncton.
Oh, great.
So that'll be fun.
What about
So,
Florida? Have you done Florida? Because Doug, it's a small state. He can drive.
Yeah.
In Florida? Yeah. We do Tampa, Orlando.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. And then when I don't feel like selling tickets, I go down to Miami.
Yeah. Perfect. That's good. Perfect.
All right, fellas.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming on, Doug.
Thanks for putting up
You
with
too,
us.
Millard.
It's been so much fun.
Hey, thanks for having me, Darren. Good to see you, and thanks a lot, guys. Thanks. Good luck with the podcast. It was fun, and appreciate it.
Happy holidays to you, Jill, Mackenzie,
We'll have you back
and
next
Clark.
Yeah. Okay, bud. Thanks.
See you.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Good boys.
Okay, guys. Thanks, boys.
See ya.
Take care. Good luck. Take care.
We're number 5 in Australia.
Okay. See you later.
Yeah.
He was fun, Mallard.
I knew we would get the Sinden story in.
Oh, he's the
Love
best. Hey, the good news is we're only $1.15, so that was awesome.
Yeah. We're
So-
still recording. Do you want me to put it on pause, or do you want me to
Yeah,
keep
we
recording
can.
it?
Hey, well, let's do our shout outs and then we'll
Let's do
wrap
our
it up.
shout outs.
Do you guys
Alex?
edit this?
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of editing because Jeff took a phone call halfway through a question.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to take a phone call from my uncle, which it dropped me off. So, yeah,
Middle of a question.
it came.
He just disappears.
It came from Summerlin, British Columbia. I had to. I'll have to call back, see what's up.
Excuse me, Doug. I have to take a call right now. Click.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. I didn't have it on Do Not Disturb, and boom.
It happens.
All right. So if you pick it up anyway around now, I want to know. So Lord Bagg didn't know Doug before this, and then Sharples drops off because of a call coming in. How is the small talk between you and Mac?
I was like, he'll be right back. And he goes, "Where do you live?" I go, "Long Beach." He goes, "California." And then also Jeff was back and like, "Thank God." I was going, "No."
Yeah. You know, the best is
I was like, "Whose uncle's this? I don't want to fucking talk to him anymore."
He is the best. He is absolutely
it was really nice. Yeah.
Well, hey, so the best part about it is, so Ian, what do you do for a living? You're a comedian? I sent him in the text. I said what Ian did before he came on. I'm like, yeah, Ian's a comedian. Didn't read any of it. All he sent me was topics, of which I got one of the questions we sent to him asked today.
Love it.
Yeah.
As soon as Jeff started sending that, I'm like, you know what we do, right? You know our conversational style. We put in a destination. How we get there is completely different every time.
And sometimes you don't even get there.
Yeah. That's not what we do. You want a lot of info. You want a lot of questions answered. This is not the podcast.
Well, I know that was on the list for you Sharps and for you to meet Doug, and I'm happy that it went well and you enjoyed it.
He was great and full of information and his story. We did stick on it a long time because him going to junior and from junior to not playing pro hockey is very interesting to people out there because for the most part, that's how it goes for people. And you're curious of where it goes when your dream of playing in the NHL doesn't go there. And how do you get to where you are today? So I thought it was fantastic. He quit school. He went back to school.
Yeah.
He
got his
became
master's.
a teacher.
Yeah.
He became a teacher. All those things I think guys chasing for dreams need to know. You know, life isn't over after something you don't get to where you're headed. So you shoot for the moon, and where you get to, right? So
did he tell you his story about playing in Montreal and going on a date?
Yeah.
Getting in the fight.
How about somebody meeting her 20 years later?
Yeah. Is that not wild?
Yeah, that was great. So
taught Gerard Gallant in school.
Well, we didn't get to Spuddy today. We wanted to get to him, but I was going to ask him about that. But then we took the Y in the road. We took the fork in the road, and we went the other thing because I wanted to ask.
Jeff took a call.
Yeah, I took another call. I wanted to ask, like, what his take is on Spuddy coaching in the KHL, and you know, just kind of some info from a GM who would have, you know, I mean, guy that's been in coaching searches before, been a coach. So, you know, how that helps, you know, Spuddy stay relevant with the pro game.
Doug and I were out for dinner on a Wednesday in the summer and in Summerside, and in the next room was Gerard Gallant. And we ran into him and said, "What's going on?" He said, "I just got a call from the KHL." That was the day that it started. And we looked at him and went, "Ooh, that's interesting." But it's worked out well for him. Spuddy's, I talked to him the other day, Spuddy.
Did you know he was going to China that time? Like, were you
St. Petersburg?
Did you know where? Didn't he go to China?
Team's not there until next year, right? It's next year or the year after. They're building the rink.
Right. Yeah, the team's located out of St. Petersburg right now, and then they go to Shanghai.
How was I not? Because I follow them online.
They were in China, then they were in Moscow, and during, I think, COVID, it changed to Moscow. And in the last couple of years they've been in St. Petersburg and now going to Shanghai.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
It's very.
He's got a multi-year deal, so good for him.
Good. Yep. Hey, Lord LB, we're gonna do our shout outs. We're still.
Here's my shout out. Here's my shout out
Okay.
to Zoom for being able to put up with an hour 30 minutes worth of podcasts from us.
Hey, my shout out is to being able to have Doug on so long that we can do 2 Christmas specials with him.
That's funny. Let's cut it in half and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas,
I have to give
everyone.
I have to give a shout out to the lady I live with who is now a doctor.
Yeah.
No way.
She's a doctor of occupational therapy. So, big shout out to Cab for getting it all done, putting in some hard work. So,
Yeah, and a lot of sacrifice, living on different ends of the country, and
she worked hard at that one. So, she's very, very talented.
And good on you for persevering through it all.
Yeah, just knowing that I'd have my own doctor.
How's your hockey game, Bagg? How's it going?
I haven't. I've skated once since I've seen you guys, but I want to get back on the ice.
You don't have a regular game, a regular skate?
No, because my schedule. I got to get like a Monday or a Wednesday night skate in.
Yes.
So, yeah. Got to find one.
I'll be out in
February. I'll be out in February.
Can I tell the IFB story, Sharples? Your earpiece story?
So, are we still recording? Are we still recording?
We are recording.
Okay. I mean, it's Christmas. People are probably having a couple cocktails by now if they haven't turned us off.
This is great.
Where are these guys going now?
I guess we have it's New Year's.
This is actually we're getting 3 in. Yeah, because if you're just sitting there after a couple cocktails, sure, just go for it.
So the Sharples and Alec Martinez are in the studio, and both their earpieces keep popping up because they're the little the nipple things not attaching right. So great people over at Scripps decide to get the molded earpieces. And they put the wax in, and they get it molded, they get it sent out, and Sharples comes in first, and he does the whole show with me, the pregame show, and I'm looking at it, and it's sticking out the bottom by his earlobe because it's in his right ear. It's sticking out. I'm like, that is so weird. Sharps, can you get that thing in? It shouldn't be doing that. So he figures it out again. He's like, I can't do it. But it's working fine. He does the whole show, and it's gold, and Sharps is prepared, and he's delivering, and it's outstanding, except it's bothering me that I can see this thing sticking out of his ear, because the whole idea is it can't be seen. So we get into the game. We've got some downtime watching the game. I'm like, just try it in your left ear, see if that works. Sure enough, it's made for his left ear. He did the whole show without a single complaint, and would have done it forever out of his right ear. That's a guy that can work in television. Nothing bothers him.
That's a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want him flying a plane. We're landing at a different airport today.
That's okay. I got 2. It doesn't get confusing when I'm in the airplane. I've got 2. But you know what I got on that one is BMAC. So Brian McCormick, our great friend, and we don't want to say friend of the show. He's just but he has been on the show. Brian McCormick with the HSK. BMAC, the first time I ever did TV with him, he's like, Sharps, turn the mic to one side, so when you're turning towards me, it's not blocking the camera, or you're not talking into the mic, you're just talking to me. So I thought I needed it in the right ear because of the way the boom mic went. So I'm like, well, I'm turning towards Mallard. So when I'm turning towards him, I don't know, maybe I thought that I just, anyways, doesn't matter.
You know what the producer thought?
Lord
Bagg, the producer, thought it was screwed up because when he was getting it molded and he had the wax in his ear and it was forming, Sharples wouldn't stop talking the entire time he was in there.
That's so funny.
And Taylor thought it was because Sharples had talked so much he'd screwed up the mold.
That's really funny.
But it didn't bother him. He did a whole show in the wrong ear and couldn't have been happier. I thought that was so cool.
They're keeping her around a little bit longer. They molded something for you. That means they want you to come in a little bit more.
Yeah. Hey, they're taking me down. But
here, just wear this one. Up. Who cares how it fits?
Yeah. Hey, the best part is Marty was on another broadcast last night, Alec Martinez, who
On Chicago. Yeah.
yeah, he's on the Chicago broadcast. Did you see his earpiece? I think he was having the same problem as me. But
I told him his earpiece came in and he said, good, because the other one was popping out again in Chicago.
I was thinking of Marty last night and go, well, you know what? See what Millard has to say to Marty, because Marty walks on air around the
water.
Well, and we whatever it is,
you walk on
air.
He just
levitates.
You walk on air as a pilot.
Yeah,
he walks on water.
Marty can do no wrong. So
Frozen.
Nobody's going to say anything to him. But you got to look at it this way, Millard. Having it in the wrong ear was better than not having it at all. That one, when I first came on, we did a whole segment. I couldn't hear anything.
Couldn't hear the producer. He's just doing his own thing.
La 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 la.
Yeah,
that's the joke in broadcasting is we say, "Oh, I couldn't hear the producer." When we want to when we don't want to talk about what they want to talk about, or we're mad at them, we just say we can't hear you. Sharp's first show, can't hear you. Just does his own thing.
Just blows people off on the first one. Can't hear you.
I could see Mallard's
about the
face.
defense.
He's starting to get nervous. Like I could see the stress in his face. Like, you gonna shut up? And I was like, I guess it's time back to him. So here you go, Millard.
No, you know what they do, Bagg? Lord Bagg? They start the bumper, the thing to go into commercial with coming up next. They don't even wait for Sharples to stop. They just start playing it. Like the Oscars, the walk-off song. And that's the cue. Okay, you got to stop. You got about 11 seconds to go.
Yeah.
We haven't had a problem with that, right? Like it's worked smoothly.
Oh yeah, there's no problems.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Ain't got no problems,
like
Sheriff. Ain't got no problems. Yeah, it's all good. So
come back from a commercial with him explaining stuff still.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've done that.
And that's why you got to pass it up forward.
Let's hope he doesn't get left and right on the runway mixed up like the earpiece left and right.
Yeah. Well, we like to foreshadow too. We like to talk about interviews that we've heard, but no one else has heard.
So we listened to an interview coming in post game, and then we come on and we introduce the interview. But Sharp says, like we heard him say. I'm like, no, we haven't heard him say. You've heard him say.
Oh my God, I've heard him say.
Yeah. But I've done that too. That's
every time Mark Stone.
Guy's a time traveler.
Yep. Oh my God, I've done it twice with Mark Stone. Where were they in Philadelphia recently? And who got the or Eichel got the winner? Oh, Zach Whitecloud had the goal of the year for the defenseman, right? So they teed up the interview so we could hear a part of it before it came on, and I got all backed around on where I was on my paper.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah,
like you've got a lot to say.
It was a crazy show because of the ending.
Very
right?
excited.
So
yeah, it's okay to be excited, passionate.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll do the best we can.
Millard, are you going to the Olympics?
No.
Nice.
No, not this one. Maybe LA.
No, it's good. Oh,
hey, Millard, do you mind if we ask you some of the questions that we didn't get a chance to ask Doug?
Well, I can answer them. I know Doug
That's
as well
really
as
funny.
anybody.
We got a lot of questions.
Hey, we got some more. You know what though? We did get Quinn Hughes. We got the CBJ Cannon. Good job, Lord Bagg. And then you know what? He talked about Kel McCarr and who he'd take to start his team. So it's good. There was a lot of stuff.
It was a lot of interest over there.
Okay, was he serious when he said it came down to the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Columbus Mad Cows?
I don't know, but the fact that they didn't pick the Mad Cows is pretty. It's pretty.
What an unbelievable break that was!
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's serious or whether
Mad Cows disease. How about the fact that the guy just wanted the team to be blue because he hates Ohio State?
Mr. McConnell.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh my! Yeah.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm from Michigan. And I'm going to shove it in their face.
And we think it's all so complicated, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's this study and that study and focus groups happening. No, we're going to stick it to the college team.
How about his buddy? How about his buddy that he hired that was 5'2", massively overweight and had huge glasses, and just went through bankruptcy? I need a job. What do you fucking know?
JR is awesome, and JR got the job right there.
Yeah,
and the best part is he tells Doug that he's going through bankruptcy while on a points trip to Vegas. Like, is that what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing during bankruptcy?
Uh,
JR,
but he got a job. He got a job. That's what counts. Love it.
Well, hey,
Let's hang soon. I want to hang with
Please.
you guys soon. That'd be really fun.
Congratulations to the doctor.
Yeah, let's.
I'll let her know.
We'll end on a high note. Congrats, a shout out to Cab.
Doc.
As beautiful on the outside as she is on the inside, and a nice big diploma to put on the wall now, along with it. And
I'm going to tell her about that next time I look at her butt. I'm going to say, "Nice diploma."
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that, Sharps.
Check out the diploma on this one.
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Love the.